Good morning, everybody. It's COOLA from Raw Stocks. We are doing another episode of pre-market prep, and man, do we have something interesting going on with Tesla? We talked about this yesterday, so if you are a follower, it is zooming 315 in the after hours. Man, if you took the 280 entry, oh Lord, we'll get into it. Okay, so first off, I want to say thank you to our sponsors, Black Box Stocks and Gamma Edge. Without those two, we'd not be able to do this show for you every single day for free. So big shout out to those guys. Please support them by visiting our links in our bio and taking advantage of the data that they provide for your trading plans. Let's move on. Okay, so Tesla, super nice little move here. You can see that we are retesting into the daily, which we talked about that 305, 308 area, and it actually got that into the close yesterday. Now we're seeing it actually get a pump off of that into that 315 area, 316 area. Significant pump. Let's take a look at this real quick. Yesterday we talked about the 280 visit being 280 visit being your long, looking to hold it, and you are now going from virtually one side of a range to the other side of a range, and you can't make this stuff up, y'all. You can't make it up. How valuable is this to you? I mean, truly. I mean, this is a huge win. A huge win for people who take advantage of the pre-market prep. You are seeing a large jump from 280 for a one-day swing. You're seeing almost a 40-point swing. This is significant. Okay, so just wanted to highlight that real quick. Let's take a look at SPY real quick. Let's look at the index, right? This is the win to the market, right? The S&P 500. We can see yesterday really having a little bit of issues around that 6,000 area. Are we running out of steam, or are we about to get the expansion? Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at the data real quick. Still on our daily four, above our daily four, but this is a relatively weak close for the daily. Let's dive into it, kind of see what we're looking at. Let's pull this over. Before we get going, I want to take note that here today we have virtually not a ton of data. Trump does speak right around the close, but other than that, nothing substantial today. You have your small business index, which actually shows positive print. So we'll see kind of what happens. Tomorrow's going to be a big day, being core CPI. We're going to see if inflation is ticking up, and if it is, I do think we might push us back a little bit. You can tell that their forecast has already got us up just a hair. So will we surpass that forecast, or will we come in below it? If we come in below it, we may see the market give the bump that it needs to start getting that upward squeeze. Okay, take a look at this. Let's look at SPX first. And might I add another very intuitive move here for us, talking about the range yesterday. And we talked about holding that 599 area or 6,000 area and see if it pushes to the top of that range. And we got exactly that. It came right up to the range and then virtually sold back down and came back towards our pivot. Now we're seeing a bit of a jump off of that. We're going to see if it's going to get any type of continuation to the upside. But look at the accuracy of the range. Okay. So let's pull this up real quick. So we're looking at very much call dominated full complex here. You're starting to see 6,100 be the supply here. This is the upwards area. So move in 6,000 is actually, I'm not going to say it's shrinking, but there's a huge pivot here. As you can see, $14 million in the net delta. Start looking into today. It's call dominated, but we're seeing a bit of a pickle here, right? 60, 50, and 6,000 going to be your range today, and we're in a call dominated gamma condition. Okay, so we're gonna raise this to 60, 50, where we see the potential extension today, and this goes down to 6,000. So we're looking to hold 6,000. So this is an expansion. Now I'll tell you. Let's take a look at VIX just real quick. I didn't look at this yet. About 17, so a little over 1% off of our close. Puts us actually a little bit higher than this. So it definitely has the capability of getting a push up here. But as of right now, this is kind of where we're at. So um, if we lose this pivot area, if we lose 6,000, it's a good short to try to chase down towards 59.94 or even as low as 59.78. But that's just what happens when we go outside of our range. That is where you start to see high volatility and high level squeezes. So keep an eye on that. But this is our range for us right now. Let's take a look at SPY real quick and see if we have confluence here. All right, SPY. Let's look. Full complex again. 605 is actually kind of outpaced the 6100 area from SPX. So about where we're looking at today on the high side is what that's equivalent to. $1.4 million in the net GEX here. So pretty positive. Call dominated gamma condition. This is another escalating type of day, 596 to 602. So this is a little bit different than what we're seeing on SPY or on SPX. We saw the support on the top of the range yesterday, so this gave us that insight on the low of the day there, 596 to 602. Let's mark this out. 602 to 596. So gap close potentially. So we're sitting right at 600. Virtually, if we lose this pivot area, like I said, wouldn't be surprised to see this thing go and try to chase the low of the day from a couple days ago. Would not be surprised for that. But on SPX, we do see an expansion over the top of this level towards that 60-50, which is probably right around this 604, right around the 604 mark. But that would be if we do get over the top of 602. You can see that as an expectation that we do see that squeeze up towards that 604 mark if we break through our SPY barrier. But they don't really line up great today. So let's see if they start to get some confluence throughout the rest of the day. And maybe we see some type of squeeze above. So today you're looking to buy in towards that 596 area. Let's take a look at, I want to take a look at this real quick. And this is our trend box indicator. You can see that the daily 4 likely to rise right around this low here. So this will be, this is just giving us confluence on the low of the day towards that 596 area, or at least a good buy zone. And then we'll see where the upside starts to go. We can imagine that it's going to be somewhere right around here. The trend box is deciding that is our high. So right around that 605 to 604 areas based on that as well. So for me, kind of looking at it today, where would I like to play? I think the best option for you realistically is look for some type of push down back towards that 599 zone, or the 6,000 SPX mark. If you get down in this range, you're looking to buy and hold it, and looking to see if this thing wants to, say, sell down a little bit, swipe this area, and see if we get a push up towards that 605. Remember that SPY has a different ceiling here, which is a little bit over the yesterday's high. Okay, so you got to think about if there is some potential trickery right above this push. So if you do buy the dip down here, good area to take profits is in this zone, previous day's high. And if we do get the expansion off of that, watch for this 60-50 mark to hit for us. If we do break below this zone here, this is likely to be a short, and maintain that short, at least till we hit 59.78 and kind of see how that responds. If it starts getting a larger sell through this area, I think it's probably pretty decent. I think it's probably a pretty decent short to try to target towards that 59.21. Or excuse me, 59.56 here, which is about equivalent to our daily 4 area where I think we could get bought up. Tesla, let's take a look at the data here. The yesterday's range had us topping out at 320. Let's pull this up. So data really shows us start to create a net delta consistently near that 340 mark. We still are kind of aligned with the 325 high, but I think if we do top outside that 320 mark, which these are virtually equivalent here, okay? So we're going to keep 320 kind of our ceiling right now, instead of switching that to 325. These are equivalent. Now, if we do crack over the top of 320, watch for 325 to potentially be a mark. Let's just call this 325. We'll do the swing pivot low and right around that day's high as a resistance for the day. Resistance in the day. We're gonna leave 320 being our ceiling right now, even though it's expanded. We're seeing this. This is a pretty good sizable wall that we would need to get over, and so I'm gonna say 320 still stands as a potential high of the day for today. So will we get that expansion? I really don't think so. I think this will be either spend some time towards this range and then see if it wants to pull back down, maybe get a close, towards that 300 mark. If we don't get over the top of 320, if we do get over the top of 320, watch for the 325 to act as a potential high and see how that responds between 325 and 320 here. A break below 320 here, you're looking to short that thing, likely targeting into that previous day close, or you might even see that thing come and retest into that 300 zone. Over the top of 325 and 320, you're likely to get a squeeze up towards that 340 zone that we're starting to see is developing in a flip here on our net delta. So this would be virtually a change for the dealers that we're really starting to have to make some changes here. So absolute high 340. If we get one of those Tesla days where it's very directional and very much a squeeze, 340 is virtually the gas out area for me today. But realistically, 320 is probably going to be our ceiling. If it does break over 320, watch 325 to create some type of range here before either we see a drop and a move up, or we just see this thing start to fade a little bit more and retest towards this 300 zone. I don't think we'll revisit into 280 anymore. I think what we'll see is some slight positioning and start to see 300 be a floor for us here. This is definitely a target though. As we move into that 320 and 325 area, watch for a move like this. Okay. So if you didn't take advantage of our swing from 280 yesterday, it's a good time to kind of take your profits up in this zone, especially if you get an early move right up to 320. You cannot go wrong there. You cannot go wrong there. That's going to be early and high premium, very fast. Okay, so we talked about resistance here at 145 yesterday, and if we got over the top of it, we could see the squeeze. We didn't. We saw the exact move, kind of that we saw off of SPY, right? In SPX, we saw it push to the top of the range. We saw it get sold on. We did take a lotto for a 150 move. That's going to be if we get an expansion off of here. Did log a 30% profit on that, and we'll see if it wants to get that continuation on the remainder. You can see at 150 still remains the high side supply here. 145 is kind of our wall yesterday, but we're starting to see 150 grow. Let's see how we are looking on the weekly. Strong short here between 137 and 145. So this is an interesting little print here when we see this. 137 does have some draw. So if we do start to get into that 141, 140 area, which is virtually breaking through this, would not be surprised to see this thing chase back down towards this low and even potentially 137, which is the low side range here. So range remains the same for NVIDIA, but do take note that 150 is growing and trying to take over the high side of the range here. If we get any type of move up back into this range, watch for a squeeze over the top of 145 for that 150 mark and getting that expansion. Start looking at things like NVIDIA here. You can see that multiple times starts making those that take profit up towards that 143.49 area. Get over the top of it. It's just selling. So we're going to gas out, or are we going to get the squeeze and try to get up towards that 150 mark? Specifically 148.21 and 150 are some good upside targets if we do break over the top of that 143.49 mark and start to get a squeeze over 150. Those are definitely targets to the upside. These are all-time highs for NVIDIA in this range. So be careful. You know, I mean, as of right now, we have our daily forward that stands at 141.45. So getting any type of close under 141 could be significant in the sense that we could see a bit of a pullback. But if it is, and if that is the case where we see a close below that, we do see that the floor is near 137. It's virtually this gap close right here, right? So see that would pull back if we got a close under here. We look for a move down towards 137 and likely are ascending daily 20 there for confirmation before maybe trying to make that move back up. Okay, so that's our coverage on our tickers today. That is SPX, SPY, NVIDIA, and Tesla. If you guys are interested in catching this data prior to the market open where we release this on social media, then make sure you join our Discord and come take a look at it. This is offered to free members. Everybody in part of our Discord is able to get this. Doesn't matter if you're paid or not. You can come in here and you can come get this data. Guys, I cannot stress to you enough that this data is so useful. I mean, if it literally told you yesterday the high was 145, if you didn't do anything with it, that's on you. But this is like seeing the future. Okay, so make sure you come join us, discord.gg/rawstocks, or visit our website at rawstocksllc.com. Come start your journey with us. We've got discounts going on, 50% off using code MERGE, and 6 analysts covering all types of tickers all the time, different trades, futures going on in here. Great community. So come take a look at it. Make sure you join up. Links are in the bio. And until next time, we'll catch you later.